What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the Persian Wolf Hadi and his latest physique update, which is about 7 weeks out of this year's Miss Olympia. And the only thing that I have to say about this update is that this is ethereal. Absolutely nuts for 7 weeks out. The muscle quality, the density, the maturity, that is undoubtedly unmatched in the entire men's open bodybuilding right now. And that also includes the reigning Miss Olympia, Derek Lansford. And you know what? Even though Hadi wasn't at his best at the Olympia last year, but still there is a vast majority of the bodybuilding fans out there, even a vast majority of the bodybuilding experts, they had Hadi winning the Olympia last year. But that is in the past now. That is part of history. And Hadi is now looking for vengeance in 7 weeks' time. And not that it matters, but how much do you guys think Hadi is weighing right now? So him and Derek are the lightest guys on the Olympia stage. In fact, they are the lightest guys in the top 6. But the thing is, we all know, it doesn't seem like that these guys are the smallest on the stage. Especially when they are in the pose, when they are in comparison. So Hadi back in 2019, that year he made his Olympia debut in the Open. He was almost 212 or 213 pounds. And him and his coach Hani they were discussing, even a few weeks out of the show, whether to do the men's Open or go for the 212. And the rest is history. So Hadi right now looks way too good from the front. And all those who are saying that he is maxed out, or he has very little room to get bigger to grow, well, the same people said that his waist was getting bigger before this year's Arnold Classic, and he just shut everyone up. I mean, we have all been saying this, that Hadi is almost maxed out for years and years, and he keeps on proving everyone wrong. So realistically speaking, a bodybuilder cannot peak better than Hadi did for this year's Arnold Classic. But if there is anyone who can actually beat that look, that is Hadi himself. Next up, we have a physique update from Marcelo aka Horsemdi, getting some pointers from none other than the GOAT himself, Ronnie Coleman. So he weighs in the high 280s right now, so you cannot expect him to look very lean, especially at this weight. So Horse needs to put in a lot of work, especially when it comes to his upper half, and that goes front to back. And yes, his back was even behind in terms of development at his last show, which was the Arnold Classic Ohio. But even if we take a look at his front shots, one thing jumps out, and those are his massive quads. Now, they are undoubtedly one of the best in the business right now, but he needs more density up top to create more of a balance. Now, he creates a nice illusion with that vacuum, especially in that front double biceps and the abs and thigh. But the thing is, if you have a wide waistline, it is impossible to hide it in that front large spread. So Horsemdi was way off at this year's Arnold Classic, especially in terms of conditioning. Now his look at Romania Pro last year, that was extremely impressive. So just think about it for a second. He was able to beat a guy like Nitin Diesha and Muhammad Fada too. And both of these guys are qualified for this year's Miss Olympia. So is Horsemdi secretly getting ready for this year's Romania Pro? So based on his look right now, I have to say that is highly unlikely, because that show is only 10 weeks away now. So Horsemdi lost quite a lot of hype by not showing up as good as the people were expecting him to at this year's Arnold. And now he has to earn that hype back. The only update that we have seen from Orks in the last few weeks is that his hair color is different this time, and now he has a mullet. So he has been keeping his head down and putting in work as he is supposed to. So the placings at this year's Arnold, that could not shake up his confidence, as Ors has that same winning mentality in every single show that he enters. And that is the case for this year's Mr. Olympia as well. He is very confident that he can redeem himself and he can win this show.
I think it's gonna be... what's his name again? The guy with the gray blonde hair, with the mullet. What's his name? Urs? Yeah, I think it's Urs.
And that is how all the top 3 bodybuilders in the world should feel. I mean, this is bodybuilding we are talking about. And we have seen it in the past as well, that anything can happen on the day of the show. And Urs has been top 3 in the world for the last 2 years in a row. But this is the year that his top 3 spot seems to be very compromised. And that is of course because of Fazi visors. Because Fazi beat him quite comfortably at both the Arnold Classic Ohio and UK as well. And those were 2 completely different looks of Urs that we saw this year. He was so much more bigger and so much more impressive at this year's Arnold UK. That was his biggest version ever. But still, the judges did not like his package. And Brion was actually able to beat him at that show after 2 years. So the judges want to see a better, more developed back from Orks, as well as bigger arms. Now, I do not understand how the judges are expecting him to make some improvements, especially in his back, with a weight cap hanging over his head. He has literally no room to get bigger, and that is something that Terrence also pointed out. Now, Orks, on the other hand, thinks that he has everything to win this year's Miss Olympia title. But where did you guys have him this year? Can he place top 3 again? Hunter Labrada is the biggest name in the men's open bodybuilding lineup right now, who hasn't qualified for this year's Miss Olympia yet. But after watching these new updates, if anyone has any doubts, I'm sure they will be eliminated. Now we keep saying this for almost every single guy in the top 6 out there, that this is the best they have ever looked. And actually that is really true this time. But this Hunter right here, that is legit the best Hunter that we have seen, and that too by a long shot. Just look at those crazy round shoulders. He is looking so much wider, especially in that most muscular shot. That is ridiculously good. Plus his waist is also coming in so nicely. So he will most probably has the best side tricep in the Olympia top 6. And that is gonna be the case this year as well. So everything is flowing so nicely. So what's different with Hunter during this prep compared to the past? The biggest difference is him fixing his gut issues, getting rid of all the different foods that were messing up his digestion. And that is why this has been the smoothest prep for Hunter so far. And that is why he was able to get so big in the off-season, while staying extremely lean. So I cannot say where Hunter is gonna place this year, but just looking back at his pictures from his Olympia debut back in 2020 and compare them to now, except for his midsection, specifically not having deep abs, he literally has no other weak points. And he has gotten so much bigger over the years. So I'm gonna say this again. People are underestimating Hunter, and he is gonna be really dangerous. Is Rubiel Mosquera aka Next Level competing in Italy? So going by these updates that he has been posting on his IG lately, do not be surprised if he skips both Italy as well as UK Pro. So Italy is just now 2 weeks away, and he has no sunken face whatsoever. And don't get me wrong, I know that is only one indication of being very close to contest ready shape. That is only one thing that tells us that someone is in a superb condition. Well, when Rubiel was in prep for Dubai Pro, especially in those final few weeks, the grind was real, and it showed in all of his training updates. So if Rubiel does not compete in Italy, would that be a big missed opportunity? I'm gonna say yes, because win or lose, you still are getting a chance to stand next to a guy who has placed as high as top 4 in the world. And this also gives you an opportunity to present a more conditioned version of yourself than what we saw at his last show, which was Dubai Pro. So Rubiel is an unbelievable talent, and everyone who saw him in person, especially in Dubai Pro, they said that if this guy gets peeled, if he gets in a decent enough conditioning, he is a top 6 Olympia material, and that is huge. So the expectations that were set up for Rubiel Mosquera, that was just way too high. I mean, he just turned pro less than 1 year ago, and he is a very young guy, and he became such a megastar at his pro debut. So any chance Rubiel is gonna show up to battle in Italy? Do let me know what you guys think. And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.